What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here at GSD Mode Studios, and I'm here today with another weekly Leveling Up episode. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to stop comparing yourself to others and stay in your own lane so you can continue leveling up and operating as the best version of yourself. So real quick though, before we jump into today's content, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube that you hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell next to the subscribe button, which will alert you every time we release one of these new videos so you don't miss this great content. And if you're watching this or listening to this anywhere on audio, so iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you're listening to this, make sure when you're done you leave us a 5-star rating review if you like the content. Make sure that you guys are sharing this show. It's how you can support us, support me, and give back to this show. So if you really enjoy this show, this content, that's what allows us to grow this show and continue all of this podcast and all this great content, keep feeding out more great content. Also, it allows other lives to be impacted. So make sure that you are sharing. Sharing is caring, my friend. All right, so here we go. All right, let me first break down the importance of why you want to get out of comparison. And what there's a healthy level comparison and an unhealthy level comparison. Right? So I want to go out there and learn from others, right? So I might compare my business to somebody else's. And maybe this is another person that's just kicking my ass in business, right? And when I'm looking at that, I look at that from the lens only to learn, grow, and expand, right? So that's like a healthy comparison. Yeah, right? Like think of it like when you're buying, I don't know, a new TV or buying a new electronic, and you kind of do the side by side when you're online, and it gives you the comparison so you can start making a decision with the, all the different features and benefits and whatever. So that's a healthy level of comparison. So when I'm doing that in business, I'm doing that to learn, like comparing what are they doing that I'm not doing so I can learn from it, I can implement on it, and take my business or my life to the next level, right? So that's a healthy level of comparison. When it's inspiring you, allowing you to learn, grow, and expand. The unhealthy level of comparison is when you start self-sabotaging yourself and feeling shitty about yourself based on where your business is at or where your life is at versus everybody else's. And this has become a huge issue, especially with social media now today, right? I read a statistic not too long ago that teenage suicide of heavy social media users, teenagers, so the suicide rate is up 67% since the inception and creation of social media versus what it was before, prior to social media. And when you're on social media, you see everybody's life looking all amazing, epic, and dope, right? My favorite meme is, may someday your life be as cool as you pretended to be on Facebook, right? Like, it's a shit show, you guys. It is not reality. It is, and you got to understand that. It is just a bunch of people out there posting a bunch of filtered bullshit about their lives to try to make it look cooler than it is. And I'm not saying that those that are posting, there's anything wrong with them or what they're posting or how they're posting it. It's wrong of us to perceive it in any different manner than what it is. And I do the same thing, right? It's like if my wife and I go out of town for the weekend and we're staying at a fancy resort or whatever, like we might be posting that and our date weekend. Yeah, right. But that's not a typical weekend. Typical weekend may not look nothing like that. I'm also not going to be posting an argument I just had with my wife, right? But if you think about, Josh's marriage is so great, so much better than mine, and it's like, look, we all have our own shit. Like you can't allow yourself to go there. Or for example, with business, right? Like you're going to see people's posts about the awards that they won or the clients they just got or the dream client or the production that they did. You're not hearing all the shit storms that they had to go through to create that success in the first place. I'm a huge believer when it comes to social media of not venting and not pushing out the negativity and just showcasing the positive stuff, right? Because nobody wants to read all the sob stories on there. But what you're seeing is very, very one-sided. And this isn't just about social media. This is just about comparison in general, right? So we want to just, number one, so then the question comes, how do we eliminate the negative comparison, right? I think that we all get it and understand what the negative comparison can be. Number one is to just understanding just how I explain social media, understanding how things work and what you are seeing. Like if you look at Instagram now today, right? What is Instagram the best in the world at least out of all the social media platforms that exist out there? Like what is Instagram so epic at? Is creating spectators. They're creating a bunch of fucking zombies that are doing this. Yeah, right? That aren't living life, they're just doing this. Life's out here, right? They're just doing this. They're not really living life, right? So that is what they are creating, and that's what they're designed to go out there and create. So just see it for what it is and understand what these platforms are and why they exist, and just having the understanding and awareness is the first step, right? The second step to this is making sure that when it comes to making sure that you're staying in your own lane and you're not self-sabotaging. Because look, dude, yeah, I'm not saying to not want to go out there and try to grow. We all should be wanting to grow and expand. If we're not growing, we're dying. If you've had growth and you've succeeded, but now you're standing still, it's like I don't care if you're standing still and you're on the right side of the tracks. Eventually, a train's going to come by and just smack your ass, right? You're still going to get killed. Right? So we want to be growing and expanding. We just don't want to self-sabotage, because when you're self-sabotaging, when you're feeling guilty, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling down about yourself, when you're feeling less self-confidence, you're not going to execute as the best version of yourself, right? So understand that you don't know. Like you don't know the shit shows that maybe those that you compare yourself have been through and what their journey has been like to create what they've created, right? And I talked about that a moment ago. But it's like I'd be on stage. This was earlier on in my career, and they called me on stage and be like, "Oh yeah, Joshua Smith did 1 point whatever million of GCI last year. It was clapping for me." And I'm like, "Yeah." What they may not know though is I just lost all my life savings. I'm in $100,000 of credit card debt. And I made more money, netted more money when I was a single agent. Yeah, right. At that time, at that moment. Right? Like that's the stuff that you don't know what's happening behind the scenes, and you don't know the shitstorms that people had to push through, right, to get to the level of success that they've created. So often we can think that something is wrong with us. And today, you guys, there's more fucking posers than ever before, right? Part of me, like I hate social media, I hate YouTube, I can't stand any of it. From the stance of the spectator. I love the tools as a business owner, but I get really discouraged with it. And I had a lot of resistance of even starting this show in the first place, because I didn't want to be another one of those people, right? Unauthentic and just going out there and being a poser. There's so much of that. Everybody's Billy fucking badass on the internet, right? So we got to be very careful with that. I decided to push forward, obviously, with this show to hopefully inspire, but also be authentic, be genuine, and tell it like at least how I believe it to be, right? And I can only share my journeys and my stories, but hopefully it inspires and enlightens and educates you and others out there in the right way. But we don't know all the shit that they've had to go through to create that success. But then the other component to it is you don't, and this goes to what I was just talking about with being posers, you don't know if they are truly successful. Right? Like you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. You don't know. It may look on social media or on YouTube or how they show up in life. It may look like they've got all their shit together, but their life can be a fucking mess. Like you don't know if they are truly fulfilled. You don't know if they are truly happy. You don't know if they're truly successful. And maybe they've got money and they're creating success financially, but maybe they're fucking miserable as a human being. Right? Maybe they have zero fulfillment in life. Maybe they're just hiding inside their business and don't know how to go out there and enjoy life, right? And at the end of this world, they may have massive regrets. Like there's a lot of unknowns out there. So a lot of times we start comparing and self-sabotaging ourselves to shit that we don't even know if it is the reality of the situation, right? It's like sometimes when we go out there and worry, what's the quote out there, the saying that 99.9% of all the shit that we spend and waste all this time worrying about never ends up coming true in our life, and we just wasted all that time. So it's kind of like worrying, how there's no reason to go out there and worry and freak out like that, right? It's just wasted time and energy. The last thing I want to talk about, though, and this is, again, going back to the unknown, is how do you know how they define success is exactly how you define success? And this is what it takes to be able to operate in your own lane. You've got to get very, very clear on what success means to you. Now, I'm not talking about getting clear on your why or getting clear on your purpose, because I don't have some crazy, insane, amazing why or purpose. Like, dude, I just want to fucking live an epic life, right? I just want to enjoy life. Like, that's pretty much it, right? It's simple. It sounds kind of lame. It sounds lame for me even saying it, but at the end of the day, that's it. Like, I just want to be awake and enjoy this damn life, every moment of it, right? The painful, like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to go through pain, but when there's pain happening, like, I want to have awareness of it, be awake during those moments, learn and grow, and enjoy the growth that I experience from those painful moments, right? But what I'm talking about is more of what you want and why you want it, right? And getting clear on that. So what you want. And then from there, so if I start identifying what your goals are, then from there, you got to get very clear on why those things are extremely important to you. And when you have those identified, those, number one, allow you to have a gauge for your daily decisions and your activities and whatever. But look, it's easy in this world to go out there, and I've caught myself up in doing this with guys like Grant Cardone, where I'm studying them, and I'm like starting to feel shitty about myself because I don't have a private jet. Grant Cardone has a private jet. And then this is like 2 years ago, I started, kind of doing the math, and I'm like, okay, I can't get a private jet, but I can get my own airplane, right? And I started looking at airplanes and what I could afford, and just one small plane for just me and my family to go jump around, and I started looking into it. But then I start, dissecting, like, where are we going to go and what are we going to do? And going through that discovery process, I'm like, fuck, like, this is going to be a huge pain in the ass. Kind of like getting a boat, right, that you never use. And now just is another fucking thing that you got to clean and maintain and pay for storage and gas. And it's like, dude, if I want to go on a boat, the 3 times a year I feel the urge to get on a boat, I'll just go fucking rent a boat. Like, why would I go, own the boat, right? Now, if you love boating, that your situation may be different, just like if you love flying, whatever. But I start breaking this down. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, it'd be more of a pain in the ass than owning it. So all that time, or those moments when I was getting down on myself because I didn't have this thing that this dude had, that I've considered to be a mentor of mine and still do, and love learning from him. But that was me, through comparison in a negative way, not staying in my lane. It's like, look, dude, our paths could be totally opposite. First of all, I have no idea how he defines success. Right? I mean, I read his books and whatever, but on a personal level, if we were sitting here one-on-one, I don't know to the core how he defines success. It could be massively different than the way I define success. And I'm guessing it is massively different. Look, I don't care to grind 18 hours a day and go hit 80 countries a year and just go through life. Man, I like a slower paced life, man. My whole miles and my whole life is in a few mile radius. Right? My house is about 2.5 miles south of where my office is. It's like I leave my office, my kids' schools are on the way to my office, right? My gym's right across the street. Like, I don't leave this 2.5 mile bubble ever unless it's to go on a snowboarding trip, right? On my weekends, in the wintertime, I want to be snowboarding, right? In the summertime, I want to be up paddleboarding or just doing some fun shit, right? There's things that I want to enjoy and experience in life. I love hiking. I love getting out in nature. I hate traveling and going out and hitting multiple cities to go out there and speak. I mean, I went down that path for years where, I don't want to say I was a professional motivational speaker or any of that. But I think at my peak, it was something like 7 cities in 14 days or whatever. And I was doing a lot of public speaking for my real estate career. And I fucking hated it. I was miserable. I hated being away from my family every day. Hated not tucking in my kids every single night. Like, I didn't enjoy that aspect. And again, now this isn't a comparison necessarily because, again, I don't know Cardone's situation and style, and I love the guy, right? This isn't like a hate on him episode at all. I love the guy, inspires the hell out of me. I'm talking, though, just about staying in our own lanes and understanding what success means to us and not adopting the goals that other people may have. And don't allow other people to tell you what your life should fucking be. And it's very difficult unless you are truly aware and take the time to reflect and really pay attention to this. Because if you think about this, we're born. right? Or if you have kids, like look at your young kids, right? We're born in this world. And then as soon as we learn the skill set of communication, it's like, okay, we first start off by always pleasing our parents. Like my young kids are like, Dad, watch me play video games. Why the hell do you want me to watch you play video games, right? Because they want to show you all the cool shit you're doing and like get your approval, right? So you start off in your younger years just pleasing your parents and making your parents happy. Then you get into school. And not only is it pleasing your parents and make your parents happy, now it's I got to please my teachers and make my teachers happy, and please my coaches and make my coaches happy, and please, now you're acting this role to make everybody else happy. You're not operating and living your own life and authentically to your own self. So all of your goals are based around pleasing and making everybody else happy. Then all of a sudden you're 18 years old and it's like, all right, good luck, go figure it the fuck out. So we continue that path. You get the job they think would make others happy, society or your parents or whomever, right? So a lot of times you even marry the person that you think would make others happy, right? And so our whole lives can be very easily, unless we slow down and have the awareness of this, based around goals to please others, right? So then we start adopting goals that other people's have, right? Because we might look up to them, and like let's just say, going back to Grant Cardone, because I don't want this to sound like I hate on the dude thing. Like I love the guy; he's inspired me so much over my life and my career. But I can't make his goals mine. And it's easy to go down that path. When I shared the story of how that started to happen with me with one of my goals, right? Like he's got his goals, I got my goals, right? We got to be very careful with that and very guarded with that, and getting clear on what your goals are and why they're important to you, and stay in your lane. So stop comparing, right? Understand and have awareness for what things really are, or or at least I don't want to say what they are, and assume that people are posers out there. And there's a lot of extremely successful people out there putting out great content. So it's not the assumption of being great posers, but we don't have all the pieces to the whole story. It's not like you're homies and you're hanging out and you know their lives intimately, right? So we don't know that full story, right? So don't self-sabotage yourself based on that. Get clear on your goals, your wants, why you want them, and operate in your own lane. And only use comparison for inspiration and for learning to help you grow and expand and take your business and life to the next level. So I hope you found this helpful. And real quick, before we jam out, make sure to check us out at gsdmode.com, where you can check out more great content just like this video, as well as get other free resources, tips, tools to help you explode your business and your life. Make sure to join our free Facebook group, the GSD Mode Podcast Facebook group. No selling taking place in there. It's just a place with 12,000 plus GSD Mode Podcast listeners that allows us to just mastermind and learn and grow and support each other. Also, if you are watching this and you are in the real estate industry, make sure to check out growmyrealestatebusiness.com, which is an online in-depth masterclass put on personally by me. And I give you all of the tools, tips, information, everything that I have right now inside my business of knowing what I know of after becoming one of the top real estate agents and team leaders on the planet. It's all the top lessons that I've learned and the most important things based on my path and experience to go out there and crush it in your business. So check that out. It's 100% free, growmyrealestatebusiness.com. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening, and I will see you next time. Peace.